Hey, welcome back. In this video, we will learn about functions in Python. So, a function is a block of code which only runs when it is called. Okay? A function can return data as a result. A function helps avoiding code repetition or duplication. Okay? So basically, function is a reusable piece of code inside of a programming language. Okay? Alright, so let's see how we can create a function in Python. In Python, a function is defined by using the def keyword followed by a function name and parenthesis. Okay? The code inside the function must be indented. Python uses indentation to define code blocks. Okay? Alright, so let's see how we can create a function. First of all, def the def keyword, and then we have to name our function. So let's do my function, or let's do say hello. Okay, and then we have to add the parenthesis. Okay, and after that we have to add the colon so that Python knows, okay, this line ends here. Okay, and hit enter. As you can see, my cursor is currently here, which is indented, right? In case your cursor is here, you can just press the tab button. And here we can write print, and then let's do hello. Okay. All right, so this is a simple function in Python. So now let's see what exactly is this function. So print and do the say hello. Okay. Run the program. As you can see, we are getting function say hello at this memory location. All right. Now we can check the type of this function. So type parenthesis. Okay. Now run the program. As you can see, we are getting class function. Okay. So this is another type altogether. All right. So now let's see how we can call this function. To call this function, what we have to do, we have to add the function name, which is say hello. Okay. And then we have to add the parenthesis here. If we do not add the parenthesis and run the program, as you can see, we are not getting any error. But what exactly we are saying here? Like, hey, Python, do you know a function called say hello? And Python is looking into the code and it is saying like, okay, I know, but what to do? I do not know that. So after the function name, if we add the parenthesis, we are saying to Python like, hey, do you know this function? Say hello. Python says yes. Then call the function. Basically, we are saying go to this function and run all of the code inside of this function. Okay. Save the file, run the program. As you can see, we are getting hello here. Okay. So here we are having these ones. So calling a function, to call a function, write its name followed by the parenthesis, which we did right now. Okay. So this is how we can create a function and we can call the function. Okay. Now, how we can name the functions. Function names follows the same rules as the variable names in Python. In case if you do not know what are the rules for the variable names, I have created another video for that. It is when we have discussing about the variables. I have created that video. You can check it out. Okay. A function name must start with a letter or underscore, just like the variables. A function name can only contain letters, numbers, and underscores. Function names are case sensitive. So something like this, my function and my function are different. Okay. And also it is a very good practice to use descriptive names that explains what the function does. Okay. And that is the reason why I called this function say hello. Previously, I wanted to call it my function, but that my function name is not very descriptive. The say hello function is descriptive, right? So this is the functions in Python. So in that way, we can create functions in Python. So functions are the reusable piece of code inside of a programming language. We can reuse the function how many times we want. So if I just call this one multiple times, run the program, as you can see, we are getting all of these hellos. I know this is a very silly example because we are just printing hello here inside of this function. But think about a scenario when this function has, for example, 50 or 60 line of codes. Then this calling of this function is quite helpful, right? We do not have to repeat ourselves, and that follows the principle, which is the drive principle. Okay, do not repeat yourself. Okay, all right, so this is how function works in Python. Okay, so functions are the reusable piece of code that helps avoiding the code repetition.